So how do you advance your career, get that promotion you've always wanted, or get that new job that pays so much more money? Well, in today's video, we'll be using advice top MBA professor Scott Galloway gives to aspiring professionals in his book, The Four, and go over 5 proven strategies to get the most out of your career. Coming from a competitive background in the finance industry myself, all the tips mentioned in this video are supported and elaborated by yours truly. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest videos about everything business, economics, and finance. The first and arguably most important tip involves developing your personal traits. What so many people get wrong is that they only focus on building and showing their technical skills of the job instead of also developing themselves and how they interact with others. While knowing everything about your industry and job is amazing, nobody will care if you're a pain to work with. Talk to any recruiter and/or manager, and they will all say that they would rather hire the newer guy who doesn't know much about the job but is nice, teachable, and a team player. More specifically, some extremely important traits that you really want to think about and develop include your ability to learn and apply what you've learned, your emotional maturity, your stress management, and your ability to take ownership of the work you get assigned. With these traits, you'll be able to handle the knowledge, stress, and work ethic required by bigger projects and more advanced jobs. Tip number 2 is extremely important and is also something that many other people get wrong, and that is to follow your talent, not your passion. Many people get swept away about pursuing something they love and are passionate about, but they may not be that talented in. Unfortunately, the hard truth is that many people who refuse to do anything else than what they love are usually pretty well off and are not really worried about advancing their career and income. While you obviously want to like what you're doing, if you want to advance your career, you need to prioritize desirable skills that you're already good at, commit to becoming great at them, and selling yourself towards better and better positions with those skills. The funny thing is that experts are now coming up with theories that talent precedes passion, meaning that if you're good at something, you are very likely to end up enjoying and becoming passionate about that thing anyways, so it's really a no-brainer. The next tip is to practice what Galloway calls serial monogamy. All he really means by that is to find a good job where you'll grow and get great experience, dedicate yourself to that job for 3 to 5 years, and then either ask for a promotion or get a better job at a different company. Rinse and repeat. That way, you'll be constantly advancing towards better and better positions. Long gone are the days where your best move was to stay and work with the same company for decades. Get this. New studies show that not switching jobs every handful of years can result in 50% less in lifetime earnings. And since the average American makes roughly $2 million throughout their lifetime, that means you're leaving about $1 million on the table by not switching. The choice is simple. Don't get complacent in your current job and you'll most likely make a lot more money. Somewhat related to the last tip is to go where your skill is valued. What do we mean by that? Well, it's simple. Who do you think is more important to a tech company like Google? A software engineer or a marketer? The answer is obviously the software engineer because they work on Google's core business. And since software engineers are valued more at a place like Google, they'll probably get better pay and more leverage at Google. Now, that doesn't mean that marketers shouldn't get a job at Google. It just means that you want to make sure your job is important to your company, so you're more likely to get promotions and be successful within that company. The last tip we have for you guys is to get into the habit of accomplishing things. I'm sure you've heard this idea of stacking up small wins if you've ever been in the productivity and self-development space. And all it really refers to is this idea of constantly trying to accomplish something no matter how small. The reason why this is so important is because just like going to the gym, setting a sleep schedule, or whatever else, the act of accomplishing things can turn into a habit if you practice it enough, which will bleed into all aspects of your life. Think about it. If you've built up this habit of wanting to accomplish things no matter what it is, you'll transfer that habit towards going above and beyond at your job, launching a side project that will give you great experience, volunteering on a committee that can lead to great connections, etc., etc. Subscribe if you want more career tips like these, and we'll make a part 2. Thanks for watching. Peace.